Hey, what's up, Roxstars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So let's get to it. I say I'm gonna take some time off, y'all. All the cashiers, they was like, somebody stole her truck. It's like you can hear it all throughout the store. This Rox coming to you today with a review for Love and Marriage Detroit, Love and Marriage Huntsville, our book 4, Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get to it, shall we? You guys, first story up. Let's talk about Metro Boomin. I forgot to get his name. What is his name? I'm sorry, I did not get his name. But let's talk about Metro Boomin, who's getting sued for sexual assault, you guys. A woman by the name of Vanessa LeMaistre. She says that she was raped by Metro Boomin back in 2016. All right, so the story goes that she was depressed back in 2016 because she had recently lost her 9-month-old son. That spring, following the death of her son, she met Metro Boomin. They were out in Vegas and she came across Metro Boomin and they had a conversation, and he invited her back to his studio in Los Angeles, I guess, you know, whenever she was in LA. So she took him up on that invitation and she started going to the studio where Metro Boomin was. And she said while she was there, she would constantly see him abusing cocaine, which I probably feel like is probably a normal process in these studios and these musicians and artists and shit. You know, cocaine is definitely a widely used drug. But she said that she did witness him abusing cocaine. Anyway, she says in September of 2016, she was at the studio and she was very depressed again about her son, and Metro Boomin convinced her to take a Xanax, you guys, and she took it with a shot of alcohol. She said that shortly after that, she started to feel woozy, and next thing she knows, it's a few hours later, she guesses, and she ain't got no clothes on, and Metro Boomin is raping her and is performing oral sex on her, okay? And of course, she had been knocked out, so she did not consent to that. She said that after she realized what was going on, she again passed out, okay? And when she woke up again some hours later, she said that they were no longer at the studio. They were at the Beverly Hills Hotel. She knows that because he told her that. And she said she had no recollection of even going to the hotel. She said that he told her that she was at the hotel and that she needed to leave. Okay. And she said that from that incident, or that assault, allegedly, she says that she got pregnant. And she knew that Metro Boomin was the father of the child because she wasn't sexually active with anyone at that time. She realized that she was pregnant and all. She ended up getting an abortion in November of 2016. Okay, so if true, a pretty horrible story. Raping folks, knocking them out, doing all this, child. I mean, it's so much sexual deviance. It's so much of it going on right now. It's just alarming how much it goes on in the music industry. I mean, in Hollywood, in entertainment altogether. We can't just even limit it to the music industry. We're going to say in the entertainment industry as a whole. I don't believe Metro Boomin has even responded to the lawsuit, has said anything publicly about it. We're just going to have to wait and see what the response is going to be and how they're going to move forward. But yeah, you guys, I mean, we're hearing about these stories more and more and more, and it just all boils down to whether or not you believe it. Okay. I know that always the conversation that people have is, why did you wait so long? All right. Because we're starting to hear about these stories. I mean, 2016 was damn near 10 years ago. I mean, we coming on 9 years that all of this happened. And, you know, so that always makes some people feel like folks are just coming up with a story and kind of jumping on the bandwagon of what's going on here. But we know the reason why people wait. They're afraid that people won't believe them. And I guess if you are going to be accusing somebody of some shit that they did to you, this is probably the best time to do it, because everybody is believing everything right now. You know, they won't put it past nobody. So if you know that you had been assaulted by somebody, you know, this is probably the time to do it. But, you know, child, we just gonna have to wait and see. So once we find out more about that lawsuit, you know, what comes of it, I'll definitely let you guys know. I guess Metro Boomin gonna have to lawyer up, and we'll see what comes out of that. And when I know more, I'll let you know. Next story. Oh shit, I forgot to order my food. I'm so busy doing that. Hold on, y'all. Let me order my food so it'll be ready when I finish. All right, y'all, sorry about that. I had to order my food. And tell me why when I went to go order my food, I looked at my text messages and I had 8 fucking political text messages. These pants are so fucking tight. Nigga went from being extra skinny to damn clothes don't even fucking fit. Shit. About to cut my whole hip bone. That shit's so tight and sore around here. Ooh, Lord have mercy, Jesus. But I had 8 text messages from political folks. We're going to try not to talk too much about politics today. You know, I'll wrap it up at the end. We'll sprinkle a little bit. Shout out to Big Will. We'll sprinkle a little bit of politics at the end, but y'all, we ain't... Anyway, yeah, 8 text messages about the damn election. I'm so over it. Next story, you guys. Shanquella Robinson. Child, you guys ain't heard us talk about that name in a long time, right? If you guys don't remember, Shanquella Robinson is the young lady who went on the trip to Cabo San Lucas with 6 of her friends. Well, with friends like these who need enemies, but she went on this trip with 6 of her friends, and after some sort of physical altercation with one of those friends, she ended up dying. All right. The circumstances surrounding her dying was always in question, depending on who you asked. If you ask the group of people that was on the trip, they say that she died from alcohol poisoning. Okay. If you ask the people who came to the hotel and assisted her and wrote up the report, that's where shit gets hazy. It looks like at first they were willing to believe that it was alcohol poisoning, but then the officials kind of changed that and said, no, she died of a broken neck. Okay, well, what they said was that she had severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation. You guys, it says location, and I know that's a typo, but I think it was atlas luxation, if I can remember when I was typing this up. Forgive me, I'm sorry you guys, but I didn't realize that it had changed it. Anyway, so that's where the confusion came in, because the people that was with her said that it was alcohol poisoning, but then why we got all these other injuries on the report, you know, on the autopsy report. So when the group of the 6 came back, and let me tell you their names are Khalil Cook, Malik St. Patrick Dyer, oh my God, another one that had changed, fuck, what was her name? I don't remember. Somebody Essence Donovan. Again, a typo changed it to Center, but that's not what it was. Alyssa Michelle Hyatt, Dejanay Jackson, and Nazir Wiggins. Okay, and side note, Dejanay, who is the girl that is seen in the video actually fighting Shanquella. Okay, and so she is actually the one that in Mexico, in Cabo, they actually have a warrant out, I guess, for her arrest for the murder, for femicide of Shanquella Robinson. Okay, but of course they can't enforce that if she's not there. She's back here in the United States. I think they were from like South Carolina or somewhere on this side of the country, and as long as they don't step foot back in Mexico or, you know, down in Cabo, then there's nothing really that Mexico can do about it. It would be up to the feds here in the United States to press charges. Now, when everything was going down, this has been 2 years. She died on October 29th, and it's been 2 years. Shortly after it had happened, we thought that there was going to be an arrest. I mean, people started actually making videos and saying an arrest is imminent. It's about to happen. You know, a lot of the YouTubers who do, who follow these lawsuits and these legal situations, they were saying like it's about to happen. They're about to arrest her. We know that the Crump, I think the Crump office, Ben Crump's office also represented their family. And we even had, some of the lawyers from him. I even think that Tamika Mallory was saying that it's about to happen. Like, everybody had us convinced that it was about to happen, that they were going to arrest at least the Dejanay girl. Okay. And again, side note, Dejanay has changed her name legally to Imani Green. Okay. Just letting y'all know. And they haven't been able to talk to none of the people. The Cabo Six is what they're calling them. They haven't been able to talk to them. They've all lawyered up, and now everybody just has to go through the lawyer. So, their mum's the word there. But anyway, getting back to the story. We thought it was about to happen. Never happened. The shit just kind of died away. And I know the mother, her mother's name is Salamandra Robinson. She said that it's ridiculous that it's been 2 years. Absolutely nothing has happened. They haven't had anybody to answer for their daughter's death. The fact that there's all this question about whether or not she died by alcohol poisoning or by all these other injuries, basically a broken neck, like, it just doesn't sit right with her that her daughter is dead and nobody is in trouble for it. The feds have always said that they didn't have enough evidence to convict her. So that was the reason why they had not arrested her. And that's simply not going to do for the mother. So now the mom is suing the Cabo Six along with the FBI and the Department of State. Okay, the U.S. Department of State. She's suing everybody because she's saying that both agencies are responsible for a failed investigation and delaying justice. And it is frustrating because when you think about some other murders that have happened overseas, of course, the Natalie Holloway story comes to mind, and other stories like that where you've had women who are not black that were killed. And I mean, that case went on for so many years, and they made sure that they finally got the person. And now when it comes to Shanquella Robinson, it's just sort of like, oh, well, hate to pull the black card. I'm hoping that it's not a racially motivated situation. But yes, I could definitely see why the mother would be frustrated about that. Like, my daughter is dead, and we saw a video of her getting her ass beat. Okay. And she could have been drunk in that video, but hell, if they would have probably left her alone, she probably would still be here today. The fact that she was fighting somebody and they was beating her ass, and then to find out that she had a broken neck, I mean, it is not a huge leap to think that possibly this broken neck came from her getting tossed around in her hotel room, and especially if she was inebriated and not really able to fight back the way that she would if she would have been, sober and ready. Okay. So yeah, I mean, it is good to know that the mom is not letting it go, because I don't think that I would let that shit go either, because somebody needs to pay for this. And the fact that them people was able to kind of move on with their lives, and then the girl changing her name. Okay, I mean, fully changing her name, but now they didn't put the new name out there, so there's that as well. We'll see what happens. I mean, of course, no amount of money can replace a person that has died, a loved one that has died. But I mean, I guess you start to feeling like somebody needs to pay something. Like, something needs to happen here, and even if I got to take everything that they got, if I win this lawsuit and that means I get to take everything that they got, then maybe that's some little level of solace. But Yeah, it's very sad. It's very sad. But I would be wanting to sue somebody somewhere too, because damn it, somebody need to pay for something. So there's that, you guys. Y'all, I guess we're gonna see what comes of the. I feel like maybe there might be some sort of settlement. I kind of feel like there's probably going to be some settlement, but it is still very strange that nobody was brought to any kind of, like, nothing happened to all of these people. Like a political call. Leave me goddamn alone. Shit. It is interesting that nobody had to pay for that. Just, it's so weird. It's funny how the justice system works, you guys. But anyway, that's the update on Shanquella Robinson. That mama is just like, yeah, we ain't done. And I don't blame her. Next story. Okay, you guys, Laura Govan. So Laura Govan was on the show again. I ain't got the name, child. I'm sorry. But Laura Govan was in an interview. Oh, was she talking to Carlos King? Maybe she was talking to Carlos King, now that I think about it. And I'm sure she's talking about a whole bunch of things, but the clip that I saw was her talking about her having to beat Drea's ass because she had realized when they were on Basketball Wives that Drea was having an affair with Gilbert Arenas. We know that Gilbert Arenas was Laura Govan's man at the time. They weren't ever married, but they had kids together, and they had a real volatile, topsy-turvy relationship. I mean, I can't imagine anybody having a real relationship with Gilbert Arenas. You know, he's special in his own right. But anyway, they were together at the time, or on and off, depending on who you ask. And but the fact that Drea had came onto the show and Laura was there with her, you know, Laura was upset that she did not know that Drea got brought in kind of on this messy tip to be a friend of, I guess, Gloria's, but then she was messing with Gloria's sister Laura's man. Okay, apparently Laura said that Gilbert had given Drea $25,000, and Laura found out about it and realized that he had flew her to the to LA, and was kind of taking care of her from the way it seemed. And that's how she ended up on the show and all this stuff. And, you know, Laura kind of just felt like, I guess she felt like hoodwinked. Okay. And so she said, you know, she went to the set. They was filming Basketball Wives. It was not her day, I guess, to film, but she went straight to the set, walked up to Drea, you know, beat her ass, you know, picked her up by her coochie and her neck collarbone and threw her, you know, and spit on her and did all this, you know, just said that she beat the fuck out of her. After she had then did all this conversation talking about how, you know, that shit wasn't cool because she thought that Drea was a cool girl, and then for them to be playing in her face and bringing this bitch on the show and knowing that she had messed with Gilbert and all this, and then a friend of her sister's, she just felt like it was a smack in the face. Okay, like, really, that's what y'all did? I was like, boy, it show is interesting how Laura forgets that Shawnee had then blamed Laura for having an affair with Shaq. Okay, and Shaq was actually Shawnee's husband. And Laura came and brought her ass right up on Basketball Wives with Shawnee. All right, and ain't had no problems with it. But now, all of a sudden, you got a problem with Dre. Listen, all I'm going to tell you is this. I can't get involved in the whole antics. Okay? Everybody over there was doing whole shit. And that's just what it was. You know, you got to charge that shit to the game. If everybody is fucking around and messing with everybody, man, and all that, why are we all so mad at Drea when you was doing the same damn thing? Now, Drea has been trying to erase this wholeness for the longest, and y'all just refuse to let the girl do it. Every fucking time. Drea's just like, I don't bother nobody. Okay? So why is nobody bothering me? I thought that was a pretty funny caption that she put up on social media yesterday, you know, clearly calling Laura nobody. All right. But Drea don't mess with nobody. Drea go over there and do her whole shit by what she over there doing her. and has landed on her feet monumentally, because we see that she with old boy and he got this huge ass deal and they millionaires and they got a new baby and they happy and all that. Listen, child, if they like it, I love it. I don't even care about none of that. Okay. It's just interesting to me that Laura brought this whole story about as if we did not. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all, the wig back a little too far. As if we did not talk about the fact that she messed with Shaq back in the day. Yeah, it's real ironic. And people have short memories. Okay, but I ain't forgot. Was it Gloria? Or was it Laura? It was Laura, right? Laura was the one that Shawnee said that Shaq was messing with, right? Yeah, I believe it was Laura. So, child, I can't. You just got to charge that shit to the game. You know, everybody got whole shit going on. So that's what it was. Okay? This shit happened a long time ago. Why are we even talking about it? I mean, I guess we just talking about what has happened in the past and all that. But the fact that she was just so braggadocious about, oh yeah, I fucked Draya up. Throwing stones in these glass houses. That's all I can say. And Drea said in her response that, first of all, he was not married to her. So this is just a whole bunch of women just messing around with men as far as Drea was concerned. Okay. And she was like, no, she did not beat my ass. And that she was the person that brought the views onto Basketball Wives. And that is 100% the truth. Everybody loved when Drea was on there. Okay. You either loved her or you hated her, but you loved the fact that she was on the show. And she was the one that was making people watch, because she was the one that came in kind of as the side chick. Okay, we didn't really know who she was messing around with, but it was always brought in with the knowledge that Drea had done some shit with some men, and it might cross some of the men that's on this show. And so everybody was watching at that time, and we gave Drea a hard fucking time because the story had came out about her son, wherever she had moved from, and how she used to leave and go to the club and go do stripping and go do all this and leave the poor boy at the house by himself. Remember, we always had the running joke that she used to put the food out on the back porch for him. It was terrible, you guys. Well, we used to say some horrible things back then, y'all. But, so Drea did come in as that person. But Drea was just like, again, she's erased her wholeness. She don't do that shit no more. Y'all ain't gonna let her forget about it. So every time you turn around, people talking about, the whole antics. But that's all it is, y'all. That's all it is Basketball Wife whole antics. Okay? So we can't worry about it. I don't think no differently of Drea. And certainly don't think no different of Laura, because I've been not seeing it for Laura a long time ago. Okay? Laura's special. Them girls, Laura and Gloria, both special. Okay? But Laura was even more. So, child, leave Drea alone. Let her be over there with her young man and they baby and they millions. Okay? Next story. All right, you guys. Keke Palmer, she's in an interview. Again, I don't have the name, where she's finally coming clean about her relationship with her baby's father, Darius. The father of Leotis. Okay? Y'all remember all that drama that went down with them when she went to the Usher concert and he tweeted how he didn't want his woman out there doing such and such, or she ain't had no clothes on, or whatever it was, child. And oh, you guys know how much everybody loves Keke, and social media was not standing for Darius talking to her that way, and the shit just snowballed. And next thing you know, the relationship was falling apart. Next thing you know, she was filing saying that he had abused her and showing video or showing pictures of video stills of them fighting, or him beating her, or him trying to attack her or whatever. It was a whole lot. Okay. I was always saddened to see it happen, because I thought that they seemed cool with each other and that they liked each other, and y'all was mad at me and telling me that I was protecting him and all. I was like, I wasn't protecting him. I just thought that the relationship was cool, and it was too bad to see this shit falling apart like this. Okay. Of course, I don't want her to be in an abusive relationship. So if that's what it is, then no, we don't need to be together. But the fact that I thought that the family was a unit that was growing, that was trying to flourish and all that, it did make me sad to see that this was another one that had bit the dust, and it looked like social media had a huge hand in it. Okay. But as time went on and it just got bigger and bigger, it started to look like, okay, Darius is a problem. You know, he arguing with the people, and then people coming out and saying that him and his brother, you know, they do all this, and the baby mamas, and so it just was a mess. And I was like, okay, maybe they don't need to be together, because all this is going on, child. Y'all just got a baby. Y'all just had a baby and all this is happening. No, maybe you guys don't need to be together. So that shit finally died down. Then just a couple of months ago, we saw it was Keke's birthday and she had a party and he was there, and you know, she started posting pictures of them kind of being out and looking like they're trying to at least co-parent together and all this. And I was just like, see, this is exactly why, first of all, this is exactly why you don't need to blast your relationship on social media, okay? Because when y'all finally do try to work shit out, of course, social media is not forgiving like that. So then now people will be like, girl, you went through all that just to be back with the nigga, and you with an abuser and blah, 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 you know. So I was just like, yeah, girl, if you wouldn't have said none of that to everybody, then, you know, if we could have just let it go, then it wouldn't have blown up like that. But it just blew up, and it blew up out of control. But we saw at the birthday party that they were friends again. They were friendly again. So I was just like, Well, now she's had this interview and she's just kind of talking about how their relationship ended up falling apart. And what she basically said was that they were together. She says that they plan to have this baby, which is interesting to me. It's just like, you plan to have a baby, but you don't plan to get married. I know I'm old-fashioned in that sense, you guys. I know people be like, Roxanne, you ain't got to get married. You obviously you don't have to get married. And you probably shouldn't be getting married with somebody when the issues are there. But that means that you probably should not be having kids with them if the issue is there too. Okay? Because them kids is going to always be. So you done already linked yourself to them. So, why we can't get married? I mean, they didn't need to get married, but they probably didn't need to have kids either, because she said that after she had all these people walking around the car, you guys, it's just getting on my nerves. But she said that after I lost my train of thought. She said that they had planned to have the baby and they did get pregnant. And then after they got pregnant and had the baby, everything just took a really dark turn. Okay, and that it just started to get out of control, and they were just having all these problems, and it was just getting worse and worse, and she didn't know how to control the problems other than to go to the court to see if the court can maybe mediate and try to align everything back up. I guess once it went to court, and that's how that information got out, and then, you know, they went there. But, you know, there's still a way to handle things when shit gets out, because we saw that Teyana Taylor and Iman Shumpert's stuff got out as well, and that still didn't blow up the same way that Keke's did. Not saying that there was abuse issues in Teyana's and Iman's divorce, but what I'm saying is their shit from the court got leaked as well. And it's still Teyana, her reaction to it was, I'm not trying to be in all that. I just need the divorce. Let me take my girls and let me move on with my life. Okay, so that's one way that you can approach it. Or you can just fall into all of the social media shit, you know, and then you can be making videos, and you and your mama having videos about it and all that. Like, that is the shit that I'm talking about that blew it up. All right, just, y'all could have just let the courts handle it and not really discuss it, and it would have died in social media. But anything that you inflame in social media is just gonna get bigger. Okay, so that's why it's probably the best approach to just ignore things. But they didn't do that. So she said that, you know, after everything got so huge, you know, they finally was able to get it back together, and I guess really get into a better place. Apparently Darius is now in the military. Like, how crazy, how random is that? Like, he's in the military. Like, how old was he? Is he older than her or younger than her? I mean, I guess you can go into the military in your mid-20s to early 30s or whatever. I don't think he was that old, but he at least was in his mid-20s. No, they had to be closer in their 30s, early 30s maybe. But yeah, just interesting, y'all. Just interesting. But yeah, I think that she probably has learned from all the shit that happened with that relationship is maybe we need to keep some things a little bit closer to the vest. And that's all I'm saying. Because I hate that you have to now come back out and try to explain things. And now some people are choosing to just be like, girl, whatever. You know, you was with the man, he did all that, you said he did all that, and then now y'all best friends again and all that. No. So yeah, I'm just choosing to stay out of it. Is the baby all right? The baby all right. You still got your money. He gone to the military. Fine, child. Let's just move on with life. The main thing that we worried about is Lil Leo. And Lil Leo seems to be a happy child. So maybe now everybody is on the right path again. But did you guys see that video? What did you think about it? The interview, you know, Keke talking about her relationship. Did you feel a way? If you did, y'all let me know. Next story. And then lastly, in quickies, you guys, your girl Tina Knowles, she has a new memoir that is coming out. It is called Matriarch. And the book is about her childhood all the way up to her superstar status, raising superstar daughters. You guys know her daughters are Beyonce and Solange, and then her bonus daughter, Kelly Rowland. They always throw Kelly in there, y'all. And just what their lives was, what inspired her, the women that came before her, so, you know, some generations, you know, and she's hoping that she can be an inspiration to her daughters and her grandchildren and all that. So that's what the memoir is about. I'm more inclined to read a memoir about Tina Knowles because at least Tina is a senior. Okay, all these motherfuckers writing books and they just 30 years old, and why the fuck am I reading about Portia Williams? Like, girl, what have you done in your life that you gotta have a whole book? I mean, you know, I'm gonna read Cicely Tyson. I'm gonna appreciate Viola Davis. You know, at least these women has reached a point in their lives that they actually have done some things. So, you know, I'd be more inclined to read Tina's book, even though I'm cool on all these young folks coming out with books and shit. I'm just cool on it. But yeah, you guys, Tina say that she's 70 years old and she's still learning life lessons, and she's hoping that she can impart some of that wisdom to the folks that read her book. So Roxy Reads Book Club, you guys can join as well if you'd like. You know, maybe we might talk about reading this book in the future. The book don't come out until April 22nd of 2025. I guess we can throw out a congratulations to Dwayne Wade, who got this statue in front of where the Miami Heat plays. Saw that damn statue. I was just like, now when did Todd Bridges start playing for Miami Heat? Child, if you see that damn statue, it don't look like Dwayne Wade at all. And you know, I know that sometimes statues will not look like the person because, you know, you have to be able to capture. It's something about the eyes. Like, a person can be, the whole bone structure can be there, the shape of the head, the whole everything. But if they don't get this part right, the eyes, it can throw off the whole face. And so that's what happened with Dwayne Wade's statue. It don't look like him because them eyes ain't right. Okay? Shit look like Todd Bridges. Dwayne Wade said the statue ain't gotta look like him because it's an artistic interpretation of him and all that. And I was just like, I mean, I guess, Dwayne, but it don't look like you at all. It looked like Todd. And so I don't know what you want us to do with that. But I mean, we gonna keep on looking at it. As long as the signs say Dwayne Wade, we gonna say, okay, that's Dwayne Wade's statue. But the same with like Kobe's statue, even though Kobe's looked a little bit more like Kobe than Dwayne's looked like Dwayne. But even Kobe's statue to me didn't really look like Kobe. So, I mean, it is what it is. Child, I got to give you the unfortunate news that Channing Tatum has broken up with Zoe Saldana. Not Zoe Saldana, Zoe Kravitz. I was just like, I'm about to have a pretty good side eye for Channing, because is Channing about to be the white Common? Because why is it that we keep on turning around and Channing then broke up with another woman? Are we going to have to stop turning around? Child, they say that they broke up, and I was just like, now he was with that Jenna Dewan girl, then he was with Jessie J, and now we with Zoe. Okay, we get one or two more women in his wake, and we gonna say he the white Common, y'all. We gonna say that now Channing is the problem and not these women, because you running through them, homeboy. You running through them. Okay. But we'll give them a couple more chances and then we'll see. But as of now, I'm wondering if Channing is over there being a problem with these women. What y'all think? And then lastly, you guys, congratulations to the 2024 World Series winners. Yesterday, the Los Angeles Dodgers was able to win in the game against the New York Yankees. Y'all don't watch baseball. I'm not a baseball fan. But Mr. was in there on pins and needles, child. His nerves was bad last night. Every time I went into the living room, he'd tell me what the score was and how it was 0-5, and then they finally got 5 and all this. And baby, I went to bed. But this morning, I saw that the Dodgers did win. So congratulations to them, because y'all know what it is, bitch. The West Coast is the best coast. And I always got to shout out. We always got to represent here. Just in case y'all didn't know, I was born and raised in LA. So anytime the home team wins, we got to celebrate here. Okay? So good. Celebrate good times. Come on. That's for one of you motherfuckers that stole my mic. You thought I wasn't going to sing no more, huh? Yeah, I'm going to find that damn mic. I'm going to find it. And it'll be here next week. Even if I have to buy another one. I ain't buying another one, y'all. It's in my house somewhere. All right, you guys, that is it. Again, we didn't talk much about politics. I'm just going to remind everybody that early voting ends today, which is Friday, even though this is Thursday that I do this video. You guys know you don't get it till Friday. Early voting ends today. So please get out and vote. If you don't possibly make it out for early voting, then I am going to implore you, please make sure you guys get out and vote on Election Day, which is November 5th, Tuesday. And then you guys just sit back and watch the magic happen, because I already know that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz will be the next president of the United States and vice president of the United States. I'm very proud. I'm very happy for them. I was talking to my dad real quick, and my dad believes that YSAP doesn't really want to be president. He believes that YSAP is over it and that he is actually trying, what is the fucking word? I can't even think of it. He is purposely sabotaging this election. That's why he's saying so many outlandish and way out and crazy things and kind of standing on it, because he is hoping that he can offend everybody enough to get out of it. That his ego won't let him just say, I don't want to be president. I mean, he can't say that at this point. But maybe he don't really want to be president. He thought it was going to be a good idea, but now, you know, people is really expecting him to do something, and he kind of over it. So maybe if he just fucked the shit up enough, everybody won't vote for him. So that's what my dad seems to think. And I mean, I guess I could see that happening. But we also know that YSAP would love to be in power because he wants to be a dictator. And he, you know, if things can be that way for him, then he would love to be there. But if it's going to come with all these rules and shit, you know, he might be over it. So, yeah, I guess I could see that happening, but I don't know if I believe that. What y'all think? Anyway, I'm going to get on up off of here, y'all. We do this every single week. So make sure you thumbs up the video, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you come back. Until next time, rock stars.